In this problem, we are being asked to convert a fraction to a decimal. How do we do that? Well, the simplest thing to do is just go ahead and divide. A fraction is another way of writing a division problem. This is 15 over 16. That's also 15 divided by 16. So if you had a calculator handy, you could just punch that in and get the decimal value from the display of the calculator. In this case, we're going to do it by hand. So we're just going to write out 15 and divide this by 16. Now 16 is bigger than 15. So what I'm going to do is put in a decimal point here, and I'm going to put in as many zeros as I need. I don't know how many I'll need. Let's put in that many and see how it works. You can put in as many as you like. And then I'm just going to make sure to put the decimal point up here in our answer so I know where it is. Okay. So now we're going to start with our division here. So the question is, let's see, I know 16 doesn't fit into 15. How many 16s fit in 150? And let's see, I'm just going to guess maybe it's 9. So 9 times 6 would be 54. And 9 times 1 would be 90. So that's 144. So that looks pretty good. So 144. And we'll go ahead and subtract that. So 150 minus 144 is just going to be 6. At this point, I can bring down this next zero, and I can ask myself how many 16s in 60. And let's see, I think that's going to be 4. So 4 times 16, no, that's 64. 3 times 16. So 3 times 16 is 48. That's going to be 12. And bring down another 0 here. And so how many 16s in 120? I'm thinking 7. Let's try that. 7 times 6 is 42 plus 70. Yeah, so that's 112. So that's going to be 8 here. And looks like I'm going to need another 0. So I'll bring down that 0. So how many 16s in 80? I think that's 5, and I think that's going to go exactly. So 5 times 6 is 30, 5 times 1 is 50. Yeah, so that's 80. And we got no remainder. So this is where our decimal terminates, and this is our answer. We usually put a 0 in front of the point. You can find yourself in a situation where the division goes on forever. If you get a value that keeps coming up, for example, if you try to divide 2 by 3, what you'd get is 0.333, and it would go on forever. So if you get a value that repeats over and over again, you can just stop your division and write it as a repeated decimal with that bar over the top. So you could write that as zero 0.3 repeating. In this case, we just had to go through a few iterations here of the long division, and we get a terminating decimal. So that is how to convert a fraction to a decimal.